Hello, crafty friends. It is Thursday. I normally come on at 10:30 in the morning, but we had an appointment this morning, and then the dialysis nurse came this afternoon, so I had to switch my time around, and I didn't even had a chance to post and let you guys know. So I apologize. It was just a really busy day, like all of a sudden. I'm going to pull that camera down a little bit more so that maybe you guys can see better. Hopefully nothing is going to go kaboom. It is kind of, let's see, that should be good. Hopefully it's not going to fall over. There we go. Good. I have a piece of wood that has the beveled edge. It's flat on the back, beveled on the front. It was just a pine board, and I painted it warm white from Deco Art. I couldn't tell you where it came from. I think it was in a pack when I like bought some things off a marketplace or something, or somebody gave it to me, a bag full of craft supplies, and that's where it came from. It's 9.5 by 6 3/4, and I painted everything white, just that warm white. We are gonna add a little bit of ice blue and a little bit of shimmering silver. And I hope you're gonna like what we will create today. I am gonna have to turn it down a little bit so that I can see what you see. And excuse my messy table. This angle really shows your messy table. I'm gonna do my silver. There's my silver. We're gonna make a fun background. I hope anyway. We will try to make a fun background. This is dry. Normally I use wet and blend it in. Today I am just going to try to dry brush some color on here. And we'll see how that goes. And if it is too much, we'll lighten it up with some white. I'm just going to wipe this brush off, and then I'm going to get the silver. And thank you all for hopping on. I am sorry I could not come on this morning, and I didn't have a chance to post and let you know. We had a PT appointment this morning that we went to, and I don't have much paint on my brush at all. And then we went to eat something real quick at Biscuitville, and then we went to back home and waited for our dialysis nurse to come up. They do home visits every now and again. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of that silver around the edge here. We'll do some more around the edges here in just a minute. We'll pull some color in from the edges. And that's what we have so far. I'm going to sand that back a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of white over top to mellow that out a little bit. I'm just using that same brush. I just wiped it off. Tap it off on my paper towel. Now we'll just lighten this up a little bit, so it will not be so in your face bright. It mutes it down a little bit. If we would have left the background wet, it would have blended it. Let me see if I want just a winter sky kind of background. If I want to blend it, let's show you what happens if we add a little bit of water in the mix. It will blend. Grab a little bit more of the white. And all of a sudden you'll have a more blended background. Add a little bit more white to it. I wanted to see the color, but I didn't want it to be really in the foreground. If you liked it more in that dark tone, you can leave it. You can do your background just how you like it, and see how much more muted that is now. I'm just going to the offload spot and pick up a little bit of the offload spot. And this looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and get a wipe out for my brush so I can keep my brush moist in case I want to add a little bit of paint to the edges. That way I can do that. So I just wrap my brush up in a Clorox wipe and set it to the side. And I got my paints on a coffee filter. I'm going to dry this, and then we're going to add some more background to it. Hey, Miss Kimberly, you excited about our flower creating? I am so looking forward to it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody had their flower kit before I set the date. So, all right, that looks good. I'm going to sand over it one more time, and this is 80 grit sandpaper. And it just shimmers a little bit, and that's exactly what I kind of wanted. I am going to use the October 24 add-on, the snowflakes. I wish it would have had a small snowflake with it, but we'll be all right with the big one. All right, I got to look. I can't remember which way. I am looking at my stencil to see if I have it the right way. And this is the right, whoop. Is it the right way? Nope. Now it is the right way. You can always look at your stencil and then at your pattern to see which way the right way is. Of course, I won't need all of it. So I am just gonna lay it on where I think my best, will get the most fun snowflakes on here. I am not going to tape it off, so I am going to have to hold it down to make sure that it does well. I am going to use my 5/8 inch brush, and we are going to use white pearl for that from Deco Art. I'm going to switch that around. And I stole the idea from Miss Cindy with Berry Jam Crafts. She had done something similar and I liked it. But I wanted to change my background up a little bit. And I've got new brushes, ladies. I still got a lot on my brush, so I'm just going to offload it over here. If you haven't gotten your brushes, this is a good stencil brush set. These are the sizes, and all of July is free shipping. So you have a few more days left for free shipping. I'm going over the whole thing, all the snowflakes. This is all background. I'm going over the regular snowflakes and all the little dots. If I need to reload my brush, I can come to my offload spots and get some more paint. Make sure I don't have too much on my brush. And these snowflakes will shimmer. They will not pop in your face. They are more like a silhouette in the background. And that's what I like about it. But yeah, they have free shipping. And I've seen where they are offering a restock on the primitive bundle. I don't know if it is the whole bundle or just the individual stencil, because several things sold out within a day. I mean, it was fast. So if there's anything that you wanted to get or you missed, hop over to the Essential Stencil page and check out how you can get on the wait list for which stencils. Or you can send them a message that you're interested in the bundle, that you missed it. Because they are looking to see how many people are interested in a restock. Let me see what we have. Oh my gosh. This looks pretty just by itself. I hope the camera will pick this up. I'm going to have to look. It'll be a minute before I see it on my end. Hey, Trisha. I am so glad you could do. See how that's just pretty. That looks like the North Pole, does it not? What was hacked? Everybody, I got of course I will give you some grace. No problem, girl. This is almost completely dry. I am just gonna hit it real quick. I just love that effect, and all I did is I used a solid white background. Then we added some ice blue metallic. And then we added some shimmer and silver metallic. And then the snowflakes are white pearl. And this is all dazzling metallics. Oh, this is so pretty. I like to sand over my things real quick just to give it a smooth surface. And I can see on the edges where I went lightly over the edges, it shimmers too. So exactly what I wanted. This is the stencil out of the Stencil of the Month Club for July. This is the small version, or part of the smaller version from the premium set. I am going to push this down because I'm going to put some greenery on there, but you can very well just put it in the middle. But I'm going to add some things to it. So I'm lining it up. I'm watching the bottom, make sure that it's straight. I'm watching our two corners up there to see which way I need to go so that it is semi in the middle. Push it down just a little bit more. And I don't think the measuring police will be around to say, hey, this is crooked. It does look crooked though. Feeling like, Amanda, my eyes are tricking me. Okay, that's good enough. Santa's workshop is going to be in black, and North Pole is going to be in peacock pearl. I'm so excited. And since this is a new brush, look at the bristles up there. New brushes will shed some bristles right off the bat, so don't worry when that happens to you. I can use this again since I used a light color. So I'm going to use that on the metallic. And then I'm going to use my ½ inch for the smaller letters, and I'm going to use this one for the black. You know, we could hold that thought for just a second, ladies. We could use the black pearl. It's more of a gray black, though. I think I'm going to go, should we go with the black pearl? Hello, Miss Cindy, I stole your idea. Or should we go with the black? I stole your idea. Look at what I did. I made snowflakes. All right. Santa's workshop in the solid black, or do we want to use the metallic black, which is, or black pearl, which is like a gray black? I gotta wait a minute until that loads up. Oh my gosh, Kimberly. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh wow. I would have been in tears. That's your life's savings. I mean, that's, oh gosh. That is just not cool. I am surprised that the bank done that. You gave it away. You're right. You know what, ladies? We had a gentleman in the church long time ago. When identity theft was a new thing, it was the hardest thing for him to prove that he was who he was and that he didn't make certain purchases and whatnot. I'm going to have to get a little backer board to put down on here so that I will not get it on my North poll. Yes, Miss Cindy, you inspired me to do this. This is your inspiration at work. There's something stuck in my brush. I like to stipple in certain places, so I am going to stipple this on to give it texture. And I'm going to do the same here. I am so surprised that you weren't able to get anything back. That is just not right. You know, being a workshop, you should see some distressing on here. Or texture. I'm going to look and see if that's... Wow, that looks so cool. I get excited, guys. It doesn't take much to excite me, though. You guys are probably like, she's nuts. I am in a very good mood today, can you tell? Way too wet to go onto your board. And again, your new stencil brushes, once, you know, they're brand new, they will shed some. So, and your metallics are more translucent. They are more see-through. So sometimes you might have to do 2 coats, or pick a similar color that is a solid and put it down first. And I'm just going to do a second pass here in a minute, and I think we will be fine. If you're a big swirler, this is really close to the end right here, you can tape it off. That way you won't accidentally go. But on this piece, it would be okay if we would go over the edge. The background is very forgiving. Just dry it real quick, and I'm going to do a second coat. Let's load my brush back up. Offload. Wait until this is cooled down if you had high heat on, so that it will not, the paint on your brush will not be hot. That is another tip, because it does make a difference. I go right and left to get everything covered really good. No. This is going to be so cool. Does that not look like the North Pole? I just love those colors. Just very shimmery. It looks like, remember those cards that you could take, and if you turn them this way, whatever was on the card was a different position. If you turn it that way, it was another position. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's like you turn it and you see different things. Thank you, ladies, for the hearts and the thumbs up. They were sold out so fast. I just cannot believe it. Put yourselves on the wait list, because if you do, you will get notice that they are back in stock. So please, please, please. All right, that is, I'm gonna hit it again just in case. I don't want anything to happen to this, so I'm gonna just quickly dry it. And you guessed it, I'm gonna go over it just real quick. We've got time. I'm going to put some embellishments on there, but before we do, I'm going to turn it over. We're going to make a double-sided sign. I had not planned on it, but then when I came up here earlier to look at it, I was like, oh, that'd be a good idea. So we're going to turn it over. And in that same pack was Santa Claus with his address and the postage. So I am going to put the postage on first, and then I am going to position the Santa Claus. Have I figured out what colors I want to do? Absolutely not. So, that little snowflake, let's do that in this color. Looks good to me. And the rest we're just going to do in this black pearl. And thank you all for hopping on. I so appreciate it. Thank you for sprinkling out. That means the world. And for those of you that have signed up to do the flower kit, I've got a couple of kits left, so if you're interested, we are going to get together on August 6th in a private group. I will send you an email invitation so that you can log in. To get into the group, not log in, so you can get into the group. You have to have the link. That's what I meant to say. I can't even speak. To get into the group. I am going to mix these two colors. What we got so far. I'm going to keep this side very simple. I just like having something on the other side. I'm going to do Santa Claus in that color, and the rest in the peacock pearl, and the rest in that blue-gray, gosh, black pearl, gosh, I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind. Very much to lose. But if anybody's interested, I've got a couple of kits left. Just let me know, kit, and I will get in touch with you. The kits are $10 plus shipping. You will receive enough for 3 flowers and the template for the flowers. 3 dowels, 3 vintage spools to make little flowers. And again, we will get together on the 6th of August at 7 Eastern Standard Time. That is 6 o'clock Central. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to make sure I'm not transferring any paint. That is so simple but beautiful. And of course, we're going to have something over here. So I am just going to add this little guy. And nope, I am not making that bird red. I am going to make him silver. So excited about our flower kit. And again, if there's anything on the Essential Stencil page that you guys need, like the brushes, they have a multi-pack now for those of us that do, I'm going to go over this one more time. I'm just going to switch to another brush to do the silver. Another 1/2 inch brush. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. My brain just went south for the winter. Full of it today, I told you. It's been a good day. Crazy day, but a good day. See what you guys have to say. Hey, Miss Bonnie. I am so glad that you guys sent invitation to each other the sprinkling, so that you guys know that I'm on. That just blesses my heart. Especially since I'm not on at my normal time. I'm just giving him a little bit of detail. That's what we got so far. I was thinking about putting another one of these on here, but I think I've got something better in mind. I think I am going to take one of these snowflakes to put down here and make it a little bit 3D. I got these a long time ago from Hobby Lobby. Oh yeah, that will be pretty. I'm going to put that little snowflake right there. When this rips, just take a sandwich bag and put it in a sandwich bag and you will be safe. Okay, I am going to paint that snowflake. I think we should do it in that blue color. That peacock pearl. I'm just going to use what is left in here. Might get it a little bit all over my hands. But that's gonna be a little bit all right. Miss Bunny, if you weren't on, I send email invitations to those that have signed up or got a kit, because I'm going to keep it as a private group for the flower kit. So if you have not logged in, please try to log in and use the invite to get to the group. You're not supposed to be able to get in any other way, but you know, with Facebook, that sometimes doesn't mean anything. And there's our little snowflake, all cute. And, ooh. Did you guys see my mishap right there? I'm telling you, me and hot glue do not get along. Telling you, I know I had a glue stick laying here somewhere. Right there. That's probably why my glue gun is doing what it is doing. It probably got clogged up in here. This is where it's going. Thank you. I knew you guys would know where it was at. I couldn't see it because that bottle was sitting right in front of it. You guys know I got to do a little extra. Because you guys know this is going to Santa. I think this will be a fun double-sided sign. Add a little bit of something in here. I have hardly any paint left on this brush. I'm gonna add a little bit of the gray. That just gives it a little distressing and a little bit of character than having a strict white background, stark white. It just gives it that little bit of distressing. And why not want to add a little bit of silver in here too. This is our project. We can make it any which way we want to, right? And look how much better that looks now. It's not stark white anymore. All right, we are dry and clean. I will sand that here in just a second. Now we get to embellish the other side. Oh, for those of you that hopped on a little bit later, here is my those 3D cards where you have to turn it in order to see the next scene. Telling you, I'm losing it. I'm going bonkers. I've got a couple of embellishments that we are going to add. I took a pick apart. I bought this a long time ago. It was $1.99 at Hobby Lobby. Probably can't find it for $1.99 anymore. And I gotta see, is that about in the middle? Close enough in the middle. I'll take it as the middle. It had these beautiful pics on there. Now you know why I chose that color. I was going to see if I could get it to lay better. We will add some more things to here. Now, my question to you guys. I am going to add this white ball in the middle right here. Should we cut these off and add some of these in here? What do you guys think? Cut off a couple of these leaves to add them in here and then glue our ball on. And the other thing we're going to do, unless you guys think we shouldn't, I was going to add these two snowflakes on the bottom and paint them. So, just the ball or add the silver leaves. Oh, hey Huntley, honey. Yes to the silver leaves. And all this came off of that pick. And now you know why I chose the colors that I chose, because I normally like more of the muted neutrals, kind of crazy things. I'm just going to lay it out to see how I want it, because these are a little bit wonky. We're going to have to kind of breathe life into these things. Sometimes you can iron things like this. Well, that one might work right there. This is another big one. Let's see if we could stick the big one over here, because this one is just shorter than that one. So in order to kind of make it similar, take this wild one. Walk on the wild side. I'm going to turn it around for just a second. I think it'll be okay if we see that on the other side, because that was my other thing. I have to make sure that it will be okay if we see that on the other side. Let's hold that in place for just a moment. And thank you, Miss Cindy, for this wonderful idea. I'm going to bend this up a moment and add some glue to this to put on here. Hi, Janice. And for those of you just hopped on late, on August 6th at 7 Eastern Standard Time, which will be 6 o'clock Central, we will do our flower kit. If you're interested in joining, I've got a couple of flower kits available. Just let me know in the comments. Each kit is $10 plus shipping. So let me know. That way I can get the kit out to you quickly enough. I invoice via PayPal. And that's what we have so far. That will work. I'm gonna have to make sure that everything is flat before I put this thing in here. A styrofoam ball of glitter. Not too shabby. What you guys think? There's our one side, and there's our other side. All right, now, yes or no to the snowflakes? And if yes, should we paint them silver? I think silver would be pretty. It would be this color. Or should we paint them in white pearl? Silver or white pearl? Thank you, Miss Bonnie. What do you guys think? I like the snowflakes on there. I think it's a good addition. Silver. That's what I was thinking. I thought silver would look good on here. So, if you go to Hobby Lobby, Walmart, and you see picks, pick you up a pick, take those colors off the pick, and create yourself a scenery. And you can do this in any color. We could have chose the regular traditional colors and used one of those picks. We could have used just silver and blues. Yeah, I think the silver snowflakes look good. And I'm just using what I had out already. I had this brush out already, so I was just using this. And I will go around the edge and add a little bit of color to the edge. I'm probably just going to use what is left on any of these brushes to edge it out. Oh, pink would be pretty. Pink would be really pretty. Don't think I've got any shimmering pink. Oh, just for the... I got it now. Just kidding. Yes, a pink pick. Yeah, my brain ain't working. And that's what I'm saying. Just look at the stores, what they have. Pick the colors out of those... that design, and just use those colors and create with it like we did here. Let me take that silver. I don't have enough left on here. I'm just making this silver. I just think that goes really well with what we have going on. How is little Huntley doing? Is he growing good? Is he getting to be a big boy? My daughter-in-law messaged me earlier and she asked if they're working on a vacation plan for next year. Disney in 2026 in December. That's little Bristol's birthday. And I'm like, yes, I'm in. I want to see her at Disney. Of course I'm in. So I'm excited. I have never been to Disney, Florida. So that is going to be fun. So excited. All right, we silvered that up a little bit. And this is our front. And then this is our back. I must have had something on there. There we go. And we added a little bit of color to it so that it would shimmer up a little bit. And like I said, I always go over it and sand everything back a little bit. And that is it for this evening. Woohoo! I made it. Hop on over to Essential Stencil and see what Miss Tammy has for us this evening. I appreciate you guys. I hope I gave you some idea on how you can just take a pick and see. We got enough to create something else with this pick, because everything that is on here came off of this one pick, and we still have stuff left. And what you can do too is you can arrange it, or you can, you know, lean it up against something, or use one of those plate holder things, and then you can just stick a little vase or something beside it with that pick in it to complement the colors, and then put a little candle beside it. There is just so many different ways you can display this, and even when we turn it around, we still see a little bit of that sprig sticking out. So if you have this sitting like this in a little vase beside it with a little candle, it's just perfect little display on your little side table. Let me pick a name real quick for some Happy Mail. Thank you. You guys know that I like doing double-sided signs. Miss Kimberly, going into our Happy Mail bucket with a fun piece of paper. And a pencil. We will draw Happy Mail on at the end of September. Well, I'm doing it quarterly now, since I went down to only 2 days left. So we're just doing it every quarter, and we'll have us some Happy Mail. Miss Renee, well, your middle name is Renee. Miss Kimberly going into the Happy Mail bucket. You guys hop over to Central Stencil. Again, if there's anything that you want out of the bundle, or you want the bundle, put yourself on the wait list. Let them know that you are interested. And I appreciate it if you use my code WK21. That will make my heart happy. And I will see you Soulfill Saturday morning at 10:30. Be blessed. Have a great evening, ladies.